Hello everybody, Guitologist Brad here, and in today's video we're going to take a look at this 1950s Airline Montgomery Ward AM radio and phono changer. This thing had a 15-inch Jensen speaker in it, and it has a 6 AQ5A push-pull output. I bought this probably a few months ago and made a video of it at the time where I played a guitar through it, and I will link to that video up here if you want to check it out. But for now I wanted to take a look at it again because I never actually fully serviced this thing, and I thought today might be a good day to do that. So if that's something you'd be interested in, stick around. In this video we're going to service the changer. As you can see, I already have the platter off of the thing. Okay, first things first, we've got the ball bearing assembly out of the spindle, and we're going to lubricate. We've already cleaned it, but we're going to lubricate it now and get that back in there. To lubricate the bearing and the spindle, I use this stuff, this liquid wrench, white lithium grease. You can find this stuff in spray form at the automotive store, and basically what I do is just spray some of this stuff along the spindle shaft down in like that. Probably a bit too much there, but that'll be okay. And then we get our bearing assembly on there and let it slide down onto there. I'm gonna get some of this lithium grease on the bearing assembly as well. And what this stuff does, it's runny when you first spray it. It's kind of runny and foamy, and what it does, it kind of works its way into all the crevices, and then after a little bit it kind of dries up. Not dries, but it actually solidifies in a manner of speaking. And so whatever it is in contact with, it just tends to stay there after that, after being on there for a few minutes. So that's why that stuff is pretty good, because it gets in all the little nooks and crannies it needs to get into, and then it kind of stays there. And it looks like I've got some old grease on the shaft of this wheel. We'll get that off as well. Alright, we have this changer flipped over on the bottom side, and we're going to lubricate this motor. To do that, we're going to have to remove these two nuts here. Okay, we got those nuts off, and this whole piece right here just comes up and off of here. This whole mounting assembly. And we are going to clean this out first, and then use some 3-in-1 oil down in there. But before we do that, we're going to use our alcohol, clean this shaft. And again, also clean inside of here. This whole motor and assembly is held in here, it looks like, with 2 screws, so we're going to remove those 2 screws and drop this whole assembly out so that we can then get the motor removed. Actually, I take that back. It's held in with 2 screws, and it looks like it's also held in right here with this arm. So we'll have to remove this as well. Alright, now yep, there we go. I was about to say this whole thing should just slide out of there, and it did it before I could even get the words out. So there's the part we're interested in. Let's get all of these. The motor mounts are held in with these little clips, so what we need to do is get our little screwdriver. We don't want these flying across the room, so we'll just kind of, what I like to do is get my screwdriver in there and turn it in the hole, and a lot of times it'll go ahead and just pop them right out. Without too much fuss. There's one of them.
see, looks like we got one more. So 3 mounts total. And this one's the same as the first one, it looks like. Over on this side, let's see. Well, might need a little stouter screwdriver for this one. Oop. See, that's easy to fly, make those things start flying. But there we go, and this motor should drop out of there. The grommets are in good shape. Those are in real good shape. Those have been changed at some point. That one on that side even had a little washer on it that does not look original, but I'm not sure. Interesting. Yeah, those grommets are, those look like they're almost new. But what the purpose of these grommets is to keep the motor vibration from transferring into the rest of the mechanism and ultimately into your sound, your output. Let's see, I think we just need to, we gotta take these nuts back off of the bottom. I put those just kind of temporarily, but we've got that bottom lubricated. Okay, I've cleaned down in there with my Q-tips as best I can, and we're gonna get our 3-in-1 oil down underneath this bottom 78 spindle and lubricate this shaft. We don't want to get any on these spindles, but if we do, we need to make sure we wipe that off. Also, the rest of the motor is just pretty filthy. We're going to go ahead and clean it up as well. Alright, while we have this thing out, we're going to go ahead and take this idler wheel off and lubricate its shaft. Well, this turntable is running slow, and I can already pretty much tell why. As soon as I pulled this idler wheel off, look at this gunk that I found underneath the little clip. I mean, that right there is going to probably slow that idler wheel down considerably. Yeah, that's just that Q-tip right there. That's just from running that through the inside of that right there one time. So yeah, that's definitely part of the problem. On this shaft, on the other end of it, there was another little piece of that stuff, and that wasn't compacted grease at all. That was a little washer, actually. So that washer that was on the other end was almost completely disintegrated and was only half there. So still, we need to find a replacement for that washer. So that's what that was. I bought a big box of random parts the other day from a friend of mine, from whom I bought stuff before, and this thing has all kinds of all the little tiny parts and stuff, that record players, radios, you name it. There's got a ton of crap in here, but I found several different washers. One of these surely will work. So that's kind of the benefit of being a bit of a pack rat right there. You got to buy this stuff when you see it. Alright, time to disassemble the rest of this changer. I've already got this piece up and off of here. There's just a couple of screws that hold it on. There's one more back over here. And then there's also a mechanism that screws in right here at this point. This mechanism here, so that comes up and off of there. That allows you access to the changer wheel. This changer wheel has a C-clamp on the other side underneath the platter, so you have to take the platter off and get the C-clamp off, and then you can try to get this thing out of here. The problem is, though, it's really stuck in there. You can really tell that the grease on this thing is old, so let's try to work this thing up and off of here. I might have to heat it up with the soldering iron. Alright, we're going to spray some WD-40 down in the shaft here for the changer wheel, and just let that sit for a little while. Maybe work that down in there from beneath and see if we can't get that thing loosened up and off of there. Alright, the changer wheel came off. The WD-40 seemed to do the trick and working it back and forth, and this thing is definitely the problem. I actually hooked this thing back up briefly, and that's why the changer was not working correctly, I think, was this little shaft right here is so dirty and nasty. We're gonna clean this off and re-lubricate it and put it back together. We'll also come in here, and it looks like we have some old grease that's just really coagulated over here too, so we'll clean all this old grease off, re-lubricate all these parts, and get it back in there. Okay, here we go with the changer back inside this unit. Before I demonstrate the changer operation though, we're going to take a look at the AM tuner. Again, some of you might recall this system from a way earlier video of mine from several months back. We're going to
full assessment to see what their physical capabilities are. Okay, ladies, so you guys were there that night. You're 30.
a lot of interference. You can hear that high-pitched whistling noise in between all the stations. I think this thing could probably be tuned in a little better on the alignment, and we may give it a tweak, but we probably will save that for another video, maybe a part 2.
Business succeed. Whatever you need, whenever you need it. Granger's got your back. Call clickgranger.com or stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Out on America's roadways, showers moving through the Carolinas and Virginia through the Mid-Atlantic. It should be mostly cloudy in New York.
Can also tell I got definitely have some cap issues.
Brought to you by Lifeline. Here's your warning. Identity thieves can open new accounts, drain your 401k, or commit other...
Did you know Dak Prescott's story? All this stuff on football, that's just gravy.
Right.
Compared to what he's been through. So now you look at what he's doing. And what he based, the thing that I like about what he's doing, I realize...
Hey, Bengals fans, nothing beats being their lives to cheer your favorite team on to victory. Prime Sports, the official travel partner of the Bengals, is your source for tickets, hotel accommodations, and VIP experiences to all the biggest sports events in the country, from NFL to college football and basketball.
So many times at the beginning of the game, the confidence for a 2-6 team. So confident in the locker room. All arrows pointing up. I think we even talked with Adam Hogue a little bit right before on Thursday.
Probably. That's 30 years ago. I'm now 53 years old.
Oh, man.
So I was 23 at the time.
Tim, I'm so sorry for your loss, man. That's a horrible story.
Well, also, my father was a Georgia State Patrol. Badge number 483, lost his life at 28 years of age.
Chicago Skyway.
And you're creating a story. I guess we're talking about it, so it's a story, but it still just falls flat in terms of logic. The Seahawks are like in WrestleMania when.
And see, the thing is, I get this feeling that the internet with social media and Twitter, you can't in 147 characters, nor can you on an internet social media page give feeling or give meaning or context to what you say. Something happened yesterday in the Dan, let's slow down. Priebus is an altar boy for the RNC. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Tell me what would be different with this altar boy being chief of staff under Trump and this altar boy being chief of... We are all Americans now, the French said famously, but
Get this, in 1994, when the defenseless Tutsis cried out for help, the watching world, or the world watched and turned away. Not a single country went to their rescue.
6976. Licensed in all states. Product availability varies. Agents may be compensated on enrollment.
The new enrollment period for Medicare just started a few days ago, and a lot of our listeners aren't sure they've got the right plan or feel that they're paying too much. That's why we have a special guest here today.
Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers. Cam Newton. Right.
Okay.
You're right.
Like 1 year. Got 2 years.
Jennings, 15 carries, 88 yards, 10 carries for 73 of those yards in the second half.
Boy, from the team that could not close out a win a year ago to a team that is consistently holding on to...
And a lot of that research actually became classified. Yes, Dr. Lilly actually was able to make the breakthrough so that
I'm trying to sleep, that kind of thing, but I get a lot of time to read and watch. I know.
I mean, that would sound pretty good if it wasn't for that high-pitched squeal in there.
Some more fighting going on here. Some people are being friendly, others aren't. Giants win it 21-20 in a thriller.
Because it's not the same if you're not at the game. Stay tuned for the Bengals Locker Room Report on the Bengals Radio Network on Cincinnati's ESPN 1530, the official home of the Bengals.
So that 1530 station, I'm presuming that's coming out of Cincinnati. I'm in Louisville, Kentucky, and I think Cincinnati's what, a couple hours away, something like that. So maybe an hour and 45 minutes. But yeah, so there's the tuner. Let's take a look at the changer. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen, and it's been doing that some. It's been kind of shutting itself off prematurely, and I think it has to do with this arm going down too far on some records. Sometimes when you just kind of drop the arm down carelessly, it goes down a little bit too far. So, sometimes if you just set it down, it won't go quite as far, and will go ahead and think that there's a record there to play, and it did at that time.
Just to see him smile makes my life worthwhile. To know him is to love him, and I do. And when you kiss me, and when I'm away from you, I love how you miss me. I love the way your touch is always
So yeah, that's a late 1950s Montgomery Ward Airline high fidelity turntable changer and AM/FM, or excuse me, just AM radio. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the future. I may come up with a part 2 where we pull this tuner out and service the tuner and amplifier. But for now, I'm going to say goodbye, and if you guys haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button, and y'all take care.